Breaking now, a jury is deciding the fate of Ryan Widmer.
But the jurors did not hear from Widmer himself. Deb Silverman is covering Butler Warren News now at the Warren County Courthouse, where the jury is in its third hour of discussions. Deb?
Clyde, the jury did just have one question that was related to evidence, and now the jury is back to deliberating. Again, like you had said, they started their deliberations around 2 o'clock today, so it's been about 3 hours now. We have not seen much of Sarah Widmer's mother at all this trial. She did come in last week to testify, and she showed up again today to hear the closing arguments. She listened in as both sides gave their side of the case. The defense calls Sarah Widmer's murder a crime that never happened. Ryan Widmer's attorneys summarized testimony that indicated Sarah's injuries were not from murder but life-saving efforts, and that there was no struggle between the newlywed couple. An assistant prosecutor says Sarah may have never been in the bathtub where Ryan says he found his wife dead. The prosecution also told the jury that Widmer cleaned up the crime scene, and that's why there was no water around the bathroom when paramedics arrived after he called 911.
What's the first thing that he tells them? My wife fell asleep in the bathtub, and I think she's dead. He doesn't say, my wife is unresponsive, I think my wife is drowned. He doesn't say, I think she may have fallen and hit her head. He says, my wife fell asleep in the bathtub. He's beginning with his alibi. He's beginning with his defense.
All he knows is that his wife has a reputation for falling asleep everywhere she goes. So that's the logical assumption he made. He's not a doctor. He works for the Warren County Visitors Bureau.
Widmer is visibly feeling the pressure as the closing arguments wrapped up and the jury got its instructions. If found guilty, he will be sentenced to 15 years to life. The guilty verdict in his first trial was thrown out, and he was granted a new trial because jurors did experiments. It's really impossible to know how long this jury will deliberate. In the last trial, the jury spent about 22 hours before it came up with its decision. Coming up new at 6, I'll have any new developments with this jury, and I'll also tell you what is different about this trial than the last trial. Clyde?
All right, Deb Silverman live in Lebanon, continuing her complete coverage of the Widmer retrial.